Theruvan Sarnai. Last time we were talking about, I think, love. Hmm. I think that is the most beautiful word, perhaps, in your life. You wanted to hear that from your people, from your beloved husband or wife, spouse, from your children. Mommy, I love you. Honey, I love you. All these things. Let's talk about it. If that's what you wanted, I'm really sorry. Because you couldn't find it. And you didn't find it. And you won't find it. You can't. Because you can't find someone who can express love. Because no one has love in their mind. That's why people try to love. That's why you do many things to show your love. Because people can't understand your love and you don't have love. If you have love, you will love everyone and everything. Can you say, I love you, cube? Can you say that? Can you love everyone as you love your parents, as you love your kids? Then you have love. Otherwise you try to, I'm sorry to use this word, I'm going to use the word use, but I'm sorry for that. Otherwise you use them to come out of vexation. It's terrible. Especially for mothers and fathers. How can you tolerate that? No, I didn't use my children to come out of vexation. You always argue with us in your mind. But the truth is, actually, you have been using your kids to come out of vexation. I'm not talking about you, actually. I'm talking about the ego. The ego doesn't know about your kids. The ego is suffering. The ego is vexed. Therefore, the only thing that ego wants has always been coming out of vexation. In order to do so, the ego always used us, everyone, everything. I'll explain about this, and you will realize that. I want you to realize this. And I want you to be the love. I don't want you to love. I don't want you to use other people. Use the universe. Please don't use the universe. Because if you use the universe will use you. That's what happened. If you scratch my back, I'll do the same. That's what happened in the marriage. All the relationships. If you contribute, someone will contribute. It's a business, ladies and gentlemen. That's not love. If you have someone special in your life, someone who's special, that's not love. You are going to use him or her. Because if you perceive special people, special things, actually you are vexed. That's why you see or perceive special people, special things. There is nothing called special things in this world. Actually, you can't use that adjective. Nothing is special in this world. You can't find any special thing in the world. But in your mind, yes, of course, you can find a million. That's why you are suffering, because you have special things. When you have special things, your mind wants to perceive these things. That's how vexation is formed in your mind. That's how a hell is created in your heaven. Your mind is a heaven, I'm telling you. If you can experience your mind one day, you can experience heaven. That's why Jesus Christ once said, the mind is the kingdom of heaven. Your own mind, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to go to heaven, go, please. We will show you the path. That means if you can perceive your mind one day, your mind is the purest thing in the world. But it is defiled. It has been defiled. Therefore, now you have special things in this world. You have things in this world, fixed things. Therefore, when you see this whatever, this figure or this thing, you can feel a thing. You can perceive a thing. Fixed thing. Something fixed. You can't come out of that thinking, that thoughts. You always perceive this as one whole. Someone. You always perceive an entity. You can't come out of that. Then when you see or when you perceive something as special and as an entity, then you need to experience it, because there is a special thing. If something is special, we need to perceive. The mind wants to perceive it. That's why when you feel something is so special, you need to perceive that. You wanted to perceive it, but you couldn't sometimes. You couldn't perceive it. Therefore, you wanted to buy it. That's why you have a wealth. That's why you have a lot of money, ladies and gentlemen, because you knew that if you want to perceive something, you have to own it. If you have money, you can own them. When you can own them, you can perceive it whenever you want. That's why you wanted a rich life. A well-off life. That's the only thing. Otherwise, tell me one thing, one good thing about money. You wanted money. Why? Apart from 4 requisites. Apart from the 4 requisites, you need something to eat, something edible. I think that's how you use food these days. You just spend just to eat. You know. That's why you need money. Therefore, when you have money, you can think that I have a well-off life. Because whenever you wanted, you got them. But when you are poor, you can't buy them. Whenever you want, then you suffer. Then you think that poor people are suffering. Of course, poor people are suffering. Not only them, but also the rich also are suffering. Gods, they are the richest because they also have a mind, ladies and gentlemen. Don't ever think that they are very special and they are a different species. We all have a body and a mind. And some Brahmas are there, they are called Arupa. They don't have a body. They have only the mind. Apart from them, everyone has the mind and the body. They have a body, they have a mind. That's how it is. Then, if the mind is suffering from ignorance and attachment. It's like a disease. The mind is vexed. It doesn't matter the mind belongs to whom. It happens. In that case, gods, demons, devils, everyone is suffering. Everyone is suffering because a wanting is created in their mind. A wanting is created in their mind due to ignorance and attachment. When they feel that everything is special, when they feel that everything is an entity, now they have a wanting. A wanting is created in their mind to perceive that. Whenever you have that vexation, the only path everyone knows is coming out of vexation. Do something to come out of vexation. Sooner the better. Therefore, if you have enough money, you can come out of vexation soon. Gods can come out of vexation instantly. That's why people want to go to heaven. But that's not the heaven, the real heaven. That's not the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is within you. If you can cure your mind, if you can get rid of ignorance and attachment from your mind, now your mind is very pure and it is the kingdom of heaven. Now you don't have to do anything to come out of vexation. But gods also, they also have to come out of vexation, but with merits they have earned, they can get things with no time, in no time. There is a heaven called, in Buddhism this heaven comes, there is a heaven called Paranimita Vasavarti. Whenever they think, things appear in front of them. It is so quick. Okay, let me explain something. Let's assume that you want this, but in no time, this appears in front of you. Now, do you really think that that's a heaven? No. You will definitely feel that that's a hell because you don't need this. You didn't want this. But it appeared. But you wanted this, and if this appears, you will be over the moon, perhaps in the seventh heaven, not sixth one. That was sixth one. You should be very happy because you wanted this. Because of that wanting, vexation was created in your mind. Now the mind wanted to come out of vexation. That's the only thing the mind can think about. But you think that you always think about your kids. I can't believe these things. I used to believe these things, ladies and gentlemen, not anymore. I never believe what you tell. I never believe what this world tells because that's completely wrong. But I don't want to change the world. I just want to express my understanding. And I don't insult, but I don't believe. When you say that something is beautiful, someone is beautiful, I don't believe because nothing is called beauty in this world. There is no such thing called beauty. But you can see beauty, then you can express your feelings. But I don't believe. Perhaps you think that land is more valuable than this value. I don't believe. Perhaps you also don't believe that. You can understand it because it's the earth. Again, we are talking about. It's only a convention. You can understand that bit. But if I tell you that there is no such thing called beauty, perhaps you don't believe because you want to and wanted to be beautiful. You think that you are so beautiful, therefore, I also think that you are so beautiful. I want to think that you are so beautiful. Otherwise, I can't say the other thing, you are not beautiful, then it will hurt you. Because you want to believe that you are so beautiful. That's why when I say that you are so beautiful, then you are like you feel so happy, like you attain Nibbana. That's why someone can cheat you. That's why someone always can cheat you. Someone can come to you and say that you are so beautiful, you are gorgeous, huh? When you heard that, yes, I'm gorgeous, he knew that, huh? He knew that. Then you can be easily deceived. When someone said that you are so intelligent, because you wanted to hear these things, because you are so vexed, ladies and gentlemen, you want to become someone in this world, someone so special, because you believe in entities, special entities, unique entities. That's why you want to maintain your entity, which is called self. Actually, you are maintaining an entity, like we maintain this monastery. We all maintain this monastery. This has a history. This will have a future. And currently, we all do something to run this monastery, maintain this monastery. That's how this monastery runs, because this is an entity. And you think that you are also an entity and it's so special. Therefore, you have to maintain that special entity. That's why you believe in entities and uniqueness. Therefore, you don't want to believe that everyone is beautiful. If beauty exists, I agree with you. If beauty exists, I would like to believe that everyone is beautiful. Can you come and join me? My society. If you come to my society, you should believe that everyone is beautiful. Not only you, not only her or him, everyone. Then you might say that I don't want beauty anymore, because it's not special. We use adjectives to make things special. That's why in Sinhalese it's called Visheshana. Special means Vishesha. We use adjectives to make something so special. Now you can say, when you say she is a beautiful girl, now she is separated from other girls because she is a beautiful girl. After that, if you want, you can use the instead of a, then you can say she is the beautiful girl. Now you use the to make her even more special. Then if you have the someone in your family or in your life, then you have to suffer even more. Because when you have that wanting, you always want to associate with that person or that thing. You may have some ornaments, some gifts you got from other people, your beloved people, perhaps your grandparents. They passed away, but that's their memory. That means that's so special. Then if you lose that, what will happen? It's not a normal necklace. It's a necklace which is given by your grandfather or grandmother. They died. That is so special because that is given by someone beloved to you. Therefore, it's so special. Not because of it is given. It is like you think that, you perceive that it's so special. That's why you suffer even more. Now you can see those two things, ladies and gentlemen. One is a necklace. Let's say you bought it for $2,000. It is only 2,000. But if it is given by someone, what's the cost? In dollars, it is the same. It is only $2,000. But you got it from someone. It was a gift. In your mind, it became so special and so unique. And you can't create it because your grandmother gave you that. Your grandmother passed away. Now she can't come and give you another one. Therefore, you can't create it. Now it becomes priceless to your mind, ladies and gentlemen, to the ego. Then you feel that it's so special. Then when something is special, you suffer. If something is more special, you will suffer even more. Now you can say, when you perceive something as special, then definitely you will suffer. That's the reason. That's why the Buddha asks us to understand the world, understand the universe, understand nature. Then you will find that nothing is special in this world, nothing is an entity in this world, everything is a dukkha, which means everything is a compound. And if something is a compound, it is not unique, it is not special. Then when you understand that you don't have anything special in your mind, everyone is the same, everything is the same, the entire universe is the same, then you don't have a wanting to perceive, you don't have a wanting to associate with, therefore you won't suffer anymore. That's so simple. The path is so simple, I can tell you within a few minutes. But you need to practice one by one step at a time. You need to understand the universe. That's why we are gathered here. We are gathered here to understand the universe. Until that, you can't have your peace of mind. Because you will feel that everything is special. Now you can see, this person is also special. That's why you want to associate with this person. You have created that. Otherwise, nothing is special here. I eat the same food like everyone eats. Then this can't be so special. Apart from wisdom, I have the mind as same as a dog has. Can you believe that? Everyone has the same mind. Mind is some kind of energy, ladies and gentlemen. You can't say that that's dog's energy and this is human's energy. Can you say that energy? We can't separate energy by dogs and elephants' energy. You can't do that. Therefore, the mind is the same. It is created with some kind of energy. And the body is the same. It also consists of energy. Therefore, everything is the same. We need to understand that. If we don't understand that, we will feel or we will perceive that everything is so special. When everything is special, now we want to perceive them. If you can remember, in your childhood, you wanted to find the purpose of your life. Perhaps you saw that, and then you thought that I wanted to become a doctor. That's my purpose. That's how you thought. Actually, can I tell you a purpose? The reason you came to this world, the only reason you came to this world is I'm looking at you. I try to find different things. No, I don't have to find. The only one reason. Only one reason you came to this world, to perceive the world. That's it. only to perceive the world because you were so vexed and you wanted to perceive the world, and you died and you were reborn just to perceive the world. That's why you were born with two eyes. Tell me, what's the purpose of these eyes? When we talk about our body, we have to talk about these 6 sensory organs. Perhaps we mainly talk about the brain and the heart, but we have to talk about these 6 sensory organs to keep these 6 sensory organs alive. We have a brain and a heart and other systems. You came to this world to perceive the world. That's why you came with 2 eyes, 2 ears. How many tongues? Please tell me only one. So, you already got them because you wanted them. That's why you got this life. You got this body. And you came to this world just to perceive the world. Now you have your eyes, but you don't have colors. That means you don't have objects. That's why you got a good education and you earned a lot of money. Now you can own objects as well. Because to be complete, you need 2 things. One is your eyes, already you have them, and the other thing is objects. You need them. Because colors are created in your mind. Here you can't see, here you can see a color, but this color is not in this object. It is created in your mind. But in order to create the color, you need this object. You need this pigment. You need this structure. But I own this. Therefore, you can't use. Now you wanted to see this, but you can't. You love this color. You wanted to see this color. Why? Because you think that this color is so beautiful. Oh, so beautiful means so special. What about this color? You have this. You have this. This is also a color, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you think that this is a color? This is also a color. But you want to see this color. Why? If you wanted to perceive colors, then you have this and this. So you have this now. If you wanted to perceive colors, this is also a color. But now, while you have this, you want to perceive this as well. Because you think that these 2 colors are completely different and so special and unique. Therefore, seeing this is not enough. You want to see this. But the problem is, I owned it. Now, I don't want to show this. But you are suffering. But I don't want to show this. You are crying, but I don't want. Because this is mine. Now what you have to do? You have to own this, ladies and gentlemen. There are a few ways. There are a few ways you can use to own this. You can kill me and take it. You can hit me and take it. You can steal it. Or you can tell the king regarding this and get an order from him. Otherwise, you can buy it. What is the easiest way? Buying. You can buy this. To buy, you need money. If you want money, you need a good education. When you want a good education, you have to go to school. That's why you went to school. That's why you got your degrees, not only one, and PhDs, perhaps a few. And finally, you got a job, perhaps 2, perhaps 3, and you started a business as well. Now you have a good business and you are well off. Now what you want? Now you come to me and give your offer. I would like to buy this. Then I ask, why? Only one thing you can say. But you can't tell that because you are so intelligent and you are well educated. How can you say that I just want to perceive this color? Therefore, you hide that part, ladies and gentlemen. You hide that. You never talk about that. But the truth is, I just want to see this color. I have been suffering because you didn't show me. I wanted to see that. Then why? Because it's so special. Why? It's an entity. That means different from other things and special. It is so unique. I wanted to see it, but you didn't show me. That's why I wanted to buy it. Then I ask, what did you do to earn money? I spent 26 years of my life, not spent actually, destroyed, wasted. 26 years of my life just to see this. Think about each and everything you associate with, then you will realize. Therefore, please don't ever think that you had a successful life. Again, I'm really sorry, but I had to tell the truth. Even to the richest person in the world, one day, if I were to, I don't know, if I were to meet him, perhaps if I meet him, I would explain to him what happened to him. I'm pretty sure he or she will die empty-handed and will be born again to perceive the world with 2 eyes, 2 ears, a nose, a tongue, so on. Then try to understand the purpose of your life. Actually, you don't have to fulfill your purpose. You have been doing that. Each time, when you want to see, you see. When you want to hear, you hear. Therefore, you don't have to become a doctor. That's another view you got. If you had a role model who is a doctor, then you wanted to become a doctor. That's why in my childhood I wanted to become a soldier, because my next door neighbor, a kid, my neighbor, I was a kid and he was my kid, my neighbor, he had a toy gun. Then I wanted to become a soldier because of that view. After that, I had one of my brothers who was a pilot. Then I associated with him. After that, I wanted to become a pilot or an aeronautical engineer. Finally, I became one. For what? Because of his influence. Those are views. That's fine. I'm not insulting any job, any kind of sectors in this world, ladies and gentlemen. But I had to do all these things. You had to do all these things because of views. But that's not the purpose you came to this world. The purpose was, and purpose always have been, is perceiving this world. Therefore, you have 2 eyes and you perceive. Right now, you perceive and you fulfill your duty. There are 2 things. One is try to be in the jail. The other thing is try to Come out of that. Try to achieve your salvation. Then once you came to this world, now you have two purposes. Before you had only one. Somehow I want to perceive this world. Go home and check each and every item you bought until today. You have been, or you have bought until today. Then you will see you wanted to perceive the color, you wanted to perceive the sound, you wanted to perceive the smell, so on. There are 6 ways you can perceive the world, and you bought all these things to perceive the world through those 6 ways. Because you thought that everything is so special. Then how can you love? How can you talk about love, ladies and gentlemen? That's why I told you, you can't love. You have to be the love in the world. I used to love. I don't want to talk about that because now I know I didn't love them. Please don't angry with me. I didn't love them. I used them. I didn't harm them, but I used them. Because I had a problem. I don't know whether you have, but I had a problem. I had a problem. I had an issue. I wanted to come out of vexation because I saw some girls are so special. Some girls were so special. I saw that. In my lay life, I didn't go to each and every girl and say, I love you, I love you, I love you. I think you didn't do that. You met someone and you felt that she or he, I would say she, then she was so special. Then I wanted to associate with her. How can I associate with a person, ladies and gentlemen? I am the ego, or if I am the mind, how can I associate with the world, which means a person or a thing? There are 6 ways. I have to use my 6 sensory organs. I was born with that. I wanted them. That's why I was born with them. Then, when I started a relationship, how can I associate with that girl? There are 6 ways. One is, I ask her, stay here. Okay. Nice. I used her to perceive colors. And sometimes I ask her, why don't you apply some makeup? Well, you'll be so beautiful. Not there, the other side. Why? Because I wanted to see the beauty. The beauty. Because each and every person has a different beauty in your mind. Therefore, your beauty and my beauty are different. Therefore, I wanted her to allow me to perceive the beauty. And she had to sacrifice. But I encouraged her. Here I use I. You also have to use I, okay? Don't use you. Politely I use I here. I get the blame. Because this is disgusting. But I had to do that. If I meet them again, everyone, My mother, my father, my brother, my sister, my friends, my teachers, everyone. I had to tell only one thing: I am sorry. The buses, trains, trees, flowers, I had to tell them that I'm sorry because I didn't love you. I used you to come out of vexation. Now I feel the meaning of love because I at least slightly experience love. Okay, let's continue. Now, how can I use? How can I use her? I looked at her and I perceived some colors that was so beautiful and amazing. Then I wanted to hear beautiful sounds. Then I asked her to sing. I asked her to talk. I'm not talking about my pet, okay? I'm talking about a girl. But it seems like a pet. Why? Because I used her. Let's talk about how a mother uses her child. But when I use that word use, I'm not saying that like you hurt them and not like that. What I meant is when you are vexed, you have to use them. Actually, you had to do that, ladies and gentlemen. You were destitute. Therefore, you had to use. Let me help you to come out of this hell. You were a state of using your own kid to come out of vexation. Do you want that? You can't say that, no, I loved him so much. No, I don't agree. Do you have the same love towards me, towards her, towards this dog, towards this ant? No. If you can't love everyone, how can you love someone? Because someone is in a set of everyone. This is everyone. And here is someone. If you love everyone, you love someone. Do you agree with me? Or are you angry with me? This is the truth. You love your child. That means you used him. You used one object, or I would say one object here, one object from the whole, and you try to come out of vexation. That's why I told you, you used them. You wanted to see them. That means you wanted to perceive special colors. You wanted to perceive special sounds. The child's sound is precious to the mother. What do you think, mothers? That's the reason. The child became so special. I don't know how. Perhaps you can say that, no, I gave him birth. No, not because of that. Not because of that, ladies and gentlemen. Because you know that he or she is your kid. That's your kid. You know. Perhaps someone changed your kid with another one in the hospital. Then still you love because you believe that he is your own son. Your own son means you believe that he is so special. When you feel that he is so special, now vexation is created, and now you need to come out of vexation by using those 6 senses, those 6 sensory organs. Luckily, you have 6. If you had 8, 10, 15, you will be busier than this. Right now, you are busy because you have only 6 sensory organs. If you had 20 sensory organs, you would be busier even more. I'm pretty sure about that. And now we have the beauty industry and all the costumes and everything. But if you had 20 sensory organs, how many sectors will be? Now we use things just to perceive those 6 things. Therefore, we have this many of business sectors. But if we had perhaps 20, then we will have more. Because you need them. In order to earn money, you can produce them. You can produce films, movies. Then someone will watch. Why? They wanted to perceive colors. When they perceive colors, they create their own story. Those stories are unique. Therefore, you like stories. From your childhood, you liked stories. Can't you remember that? Because those stories are different. They are unique. One is Cinderella. The other one is something else, Tintin. Something else. And movies, Titanic. It's different. But you wanted to perceive uniqueness. That's why you are so into movies, stories. That's why you want to read books, especially storybooks, novels, because they have a different story. That's why you want to hear other people's life. That's because it's a story, it's unique. Perhaps autobiographies, biographies, because it's so unique. But if you feel that both of them are the same, then you don't want to read that. You only read one. And you reject the other one because this is the same. Don't waste your time to read this. That's how you feel. Now, can't you see that you always chase behind uniqueness? Because of that, you are vexed. That's the reason. Therefore, you don't have to do any other thing. You just need to do something to get rid of uniqueness, the feeling of uniqueness from your mind. Because the universe is equal, the universe is the same. In your mind, you separate them. in your mind due to ignorance. You perceive them separately. You perceive this as a separate entity. Therefore, you believe that this is a separate entity. When you believe that, you always perceive that as a separate entity. Therefore, this became a vicious cycle and it will destroy your life. It has been destroying your life for infinite number of eons. Still, if you don't understand this, it will continue. That's why, out of compassion, we want to help you. If you can understand that, please listen to us. Please listen to us. You can do this. You can do this because when you wanted to earn money, you earned. When you wanted a good education, you achieved it. Whatever you wanted, you achieved it. Now, I want you to want to achieve your salvation now. You will do that if you can understand this. Until that, we have to explain. We have to explain. Therefore, we explain to you the reality. This is the reality. But you live in a dream. You live in a novel. In your drama. Actually, you are living a drama. You are the producer. From time to time, you take new characters and you pair them and finally you reject them. And you continue your drama. Now you have a memory and you use your memory and you create a future for you and you play a nice drama. In your drama, you are the main character. Therefore, you have to maintain your character. Therefore, you always maintain your character. In your character, actually, you need good names for that. Madam, Mr., Doctor. You need all these great words that you believe. If I say this, the word madam, but don't take this, okay? The word madam is used for the matron of sex workers. Can I use that word to you now? But it's not in Sri Lanka. I don't know about other countries. I would say it's not in Sri Lanka. This is very respectable word. Right. But if the meaning of that word is that, do you really want us to use that to you? No. Now you can see it's a convention. But if something is conventionally good, great, you want to use those words to your character. But there are some words. Dog, buffalo, donkey, a fool. Can I use them? Can I use them to your character? No. Use madam, sir. If you can use the word sir in front of your name, that would be great. Sir Isaac Newton, Sir Peter John. You love them. When you got a doctorate, you want to use them. Then at that time, you don't want to use Mr. or Mrs. or Miss. You want to use doctor. That's okay. What I wanted to say is, in your drama, you have to maintain your character. Therefore, you always use your life to maintain your character day in and day out. That's what you do. If I ask your occupation is maintaining your character. because you don't want to become a characterless person. You want a great, you want to build a great character. Therefore, you always want to hear good things about you. You always expect that. But you do bad things. This is how it is. It happens. It happens because you can't control you. When you are vexed, you need to do something to come out of vexation. That's how it is. Sometimes you do it and hide it. But somehow you expect good things happen to you, and you need a good name. Therefore, when you come to the society, you are vexed and you are so scared. If someone has a bad mouth, perhaps you are so scared to meet him because he tells things publicly. Then you don't want to meet him because you think about your character, because you are maintaining a character, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying that try to become a characterless person, but you are not a character. You need to understand that you are not an entity to maintain. You are happening, ladies and gentlemen. You are happening. You don't have anything to maintain. You are happening. Therefore, you don't have a future and you don't have a past. You are being created right now. Why do you waste your time, which means your life, to acquire things and go behind all these things? Try to understand, please. Because I'm pretty sure that when you understand this, you will practice. You will practice and you will find time. Because right now I know your main excuse is your main excuse is, I don't have time, I'm busy these days. Can you tell this excuse to your death? No. Are you okay with that? If you were to die tomorrow, are you okay with that? I can guarantee you will come back. But I don't know in which form. But I'm definitely sure you will come with 2 eyes, 2 ears, a nose, a tongue, and a body. I'm pretty sure. But the problem is, it's so scary because buffaloes, they have those things. Sensory organs, 6 sensory organs, they have. Donkeys, dogs, demons, pretas, creatures in hell, whether you believe it or not. I'm pretty sure you will come back, because you have to come back, because still you want to perceive the world. If you want to perceive the world, you will come to the world over and over again. You want to perceive the world because you think that the world is so special. But if you can get rid of that idea from your mind completely, then you don't have any special thing in this world to come. Tell me, I can prove that. Why did you come to this monastery? That's why. That's the reason. You believe that there is something special in this monastery. That's why you came to this monastery. That's why you will come. When you die, you will go to your home. You will go home like when we finish this sermon. Where will you go? You go home, ladies and gentlemen, home, because home means home is so special. That's why it's called home. That's where your family resides. You love your family dog, which means your dog. You love it. Is that okay for me to use it? No, no, it's my Tarzan. Him. Perhaps. Well, normally you don't use that word, it, but you use he. Or perhaps son. When it says son, then two comes. Two come. Two come from somewhere. Dog and your original son. This is how it is. Because you love them. That's how you think. You love them. No. That dog is so special. Therefore, you use it. That son is so special. Therefore, you use him. You can't live without them. You can't live without them, ladies and gentlemen. That's why you want a family. When you lose your family, how do you feel? When you lose your family? Hmm? Your kids are not, they don't reside with you anymore. They went, they are abroad. How do you feel? That's why perhaps that at that time you find a dog as your companion, a cat, a rabbit, so on. Because somehow you need to touch, but something special. You don't want to touch each and every rabbit. You need to touch your special. That's your, mine. You want to touch. You want to see. Because you need colors to survive. I'm talking about the mind. Again, after that, it becomes the ego. When it becomes the ego, now we can talk about a person. But this is an illusion, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a person. This is not an entity. But you perceive this as an entity. But this is an illusion. Even though you perceive this illusion, there is a mind. Therefore, we can only talk about two things, the body and the mind. This is an illusion. But when you perceive this, then you feel this is I, then I want to survive. Let's talk about that. I want to survive. Now, the ego speaks. I want to survive. When I want to survive, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana. This is the process of the mind, ladies and gentlemen. Just leave it from here. You don't have to think about this. This is the process of the mind. Someone knows. Just leave it. Here. Now, if you are the ego, now you want to perceive colors or you want to survive. That's the first thing you want to do. You want to survive. Perhaps you think that to survive, I need food, I need water, I need air. That's how you think. To survive. Actually, tell me what is the main thing you want to survive? What is the main thing? I'm pretty sure everyone will say that air. Without air, oxygen, we can't live. No. Without oxygen, we can live perhaps 1 minute, 2 minutes. But without this, you can't live even a picosecond. Therefore, in order to survive, you need this first. The mind knows that. The ego knows that. Therefore, the ego wants to survive. Therefore, the ego wants to create Vedana Sanya, which means the mind. Therefore, the ego, only for the purpose of surviving, the ego wants to perceive something. That's your life. That's how you live. You want to perceive something. Without food, you can live perhaps a month, only with water and air. But without this, you can't live. Therefore, you try to perceive something. You need this. You do this each and every time. Therefore, you need the world. You use these 6 senses, these 6 sensory organs to survive. Mainly, the 6th one, which is the mind, which is called Mana Dhamma. The mind helps you to survive. Therefore, you can't say that, no, I don't use anyone. Do you want to survive? Please answer that. Do you want to live? Yes or no? Yes. If you want to live, then you have to use the universe. That's why I told you, you don't love because you want to live. One day, if you can eradicate craving to survive, love forms in your mind. Until that, you have to use to survive. I know this is little bit, this makes you upset, because until that is the end, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to survive, you have to use the world, whether the world likes it or not. When you wanted to see something, you looked at it. Did you get the permission? Didn't you steal colors from other people? Didn't you look at a rose that you thought that it was so beautiful? Because you wanted to live, ladies and gentlemen. You were so destitute because you had a craving for that. I want to live. Then you struggle to live. Therefore, you use the universe to live. You have eyes, but you don't have objects. Therefore, you have to use them to live. Why do you want to live? Tell me. Tell me one reason. Why do you want to live? You know I don't mean that the other way. Just tell me, why do you want to live? What's the purpose? Okay, let's assume that you will live another One day. Is that okay? One day. Well, what will you do? I'll translate all documents. I'll transform all documents to someone. Is that the thing? What will you do? You will survive. How do you survive? You will see. You will hear. So on. Apart from that, you can't do any other thing, ladies and gentlemen. You use your hands, you walk, you do your kaya karma, you use your body just to survive, just to survive, which means to see, to perceive something. When the mind is created, you survive. Therefore, the ego needs mostly that survival. Therefore, you always perceive. You are ready to perceive. And you don't get the permission. You perceive. You live. The purpose of your life is this. Not to become a doctor, not to become a good mother, not to become a good father. Don't be deceived. Let's fulfill our duties, ladies and gentlemen. I told you last week. You have 5 sons or 5 kids. I have 750. My wife is still expecting. Per month, at least 20 kids come to our family. You are waiting for them. Let's fulfill our duties. That's fine. Let's come together and do that. That's not my duty. I'll do my part. Then you will do yours. Then finally it will happen. But if you have a special duty to fulfill, like I'm a mother and I had to fulfill my duties, yes. In your mind, now you became a mother. And now you have a special duty to fulfill. Therefore, you take all the responsibility and you do it. Therefore, you have that special responsibility and you have to fulfill that. I have a responsibility, but I don't have to fulfill that. That responsibility will be fulfilled because I'm nature. If I'm nature, so far, what I have done belongs to nature. Nature has something. Nature has done something, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't do anything. Therefore, if I die right now, this monastery runs. But if I think that if I die now, how can they survive? Then I became a special person in my mind. That's my character. I am the Guru Hamdru in this monastery. Without me, this monastery will be finished. I don't believe that. Therefore, I'm ready to die. But I need some time, please. Because I don't want to come back. I want to finish this. But without me, this monastery will run. I'm pretty sure about that. Because nature uses this body and the mind to run this monastery. If this dies, nature will use another body and the mind and transfer wisdom to that mind, and this monastery will run. You will cry. That's your problem. That's your problem. You will cry, oh, Guru Hamdru died. We can't say Guru Hamdru died, Guru Hamdru apawattuna. You use like great, like sacred words. That's fine. However, you will cry. Why? You had a special character and you believed that that special character will save you one day. No, your own merits will save you one day. Your own actions will save you one day. I can't do anything because there is no such thing called I here. But you perceive that. You perceive that, therefore, you believe that this character will help us, save us. That's why people are waiting for Jesus Christ to come back, the Buddha to come back. Then people think that, oh, they will come and save us. I don't believe in these things. Great teachers came to this world and they showed us the path and asked us to practice. The Buddha said, you yourself must try. Take that advice. You yourself must try. No one can help you. The teachers will guide you. You need to do that. I believe that and I practice. Therefore, I don't want anyone to come and tell that, please practice the path. Why should I get that advice? If I can understand this, if I can understand that I'm the only person who can do this, then I'll do that. I want you to understand that if you die, your children will be fed, definitely. If not, I'll do that. But if you die, I can't help you. I can help your children. I can help your parents. But I can't help you because you're already dead. You are not among us, ladies and gentlemen. At that time, you won't be among us. You should be afraid of this. If you can see that, then you will start something. Otherwise, you will tell that, oh, I'm busy. Don't be busy. Not because of me, but because of nature. This monastery runs. Not because of me, because of your actions. You will understand the Dhamma. Nature is everything, and everything is nature. We all are nature. You just need to understand that. If you can understand that you are nature, and you will understand that your kid, your children are also nature, then you don't need to support nature to survive. Do you support nature to survive? Do you support lightning to occur? No. What about carbon cycle? What about nitrogen cycle? You don't support nature. But one day, perhaps you will perceive that I support nature. Because of me, nature survives. You may think like that. At that time, then actually, you will be insane. But right now, you are half insane, I would say. Because right now you feel that without you, your family can't survive. The society can't survive. Your parents can't survive. Because you are a character. Let's break this characterism. Let's break this entity. This is like a fort. Let's break this fort. And let's be equal with nature. This is nature, and you create your own fort. And you stay here, and you maintain this. But this is nature. This is the fault. This is the mental barrier. Because of this, you suffer. The Buddha asks us to remove this. Now, when you remove that, you will see other things as well. You don't have to support anyone, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to support. You don't need my support. Because this is an illusion. How can you expect that? Oh, we can play a drama. Oh, Guru Andru passed away. Let's cry. Let's go group by group. Let's go there and cry. And you can do that. Because in your drama, I was the main character. But now it's not anymore. Therefore, you have to continue your drama and you have to think that character died. Therefore, we need to do our rituals, crying, burning midnight oil for 7 days perhaps, and offer some alms, all these things. Earning merit is good. Therefore, offer alms and do all these things, ladies and gentlemen. But what I'm saying is, if you see the truth, if you see the reality, you don't need anyone. You just need a Kalyana Mitra. That Kalyana Mitra is wisdom. It's wisdom. That's not a person. It's a wisdom. Perhaps right now, nature uses me. Me means this mind. Like we use these air conditioners. You use this. I use this fan. Oh, I don't have one. I use this. Nature uses this to pass knowledge to you. Then you take this knowledge and you create wisdom within you. This is how the system. Now, if this passes away, what will happen? The nature will use another body and a mind and transform wisdom. Then he or she will be your Kalyana Mitra. That's how it is. But if you create a special person here, definitely you will cry. Definitely it will happen. We created the Buddha, a special person. Therefore, when we hear that the Buddha passed away, how do you feel? You feel like you lost everything. Then perhaps you wait until the next Buddha to be born. We don't have to, ladies and gentlemen. The Buddha, which means the sacred wisdom, is within us. We just need to understand it. That's the homage we can pay. Offering flowers, some food, but do these things. You can earn merits by doing these things. But do you really think that it's enough? Do you really think that the Buddha asked you to do all these things? To pay homage? Practice your path and become free from vexation. Then you don't want to survive. You will live. If you want to survive, you can't live. You try to live. That's why your life becomes a hell. Because you try to live, ladies and gentlemen. You can't live. Because you need something to live. If you need something to live, some colors, just imagine that. Right now, if you want to see something, you can't live. Because right now you have to listen to me because you are here. But if you want to see your kid right now, how can you live? That's not your life, then it's a hell. If you want something, that's a hell. Try to understand that. Then that's not actually that's not the life. Try to achieve the life. Jesus Christ once said, the life. Try to achieve the life. Try to live the life. You can do that by understanding the universe. Let's understand it. Every day I have to talk about this because I want to encourage you to see the truth. Because when you allocate some time from your timetable to your salvation, you can start this path. Otherwise, if you just think that, oh, we will go to the monastery on Saturdays, Sundays, and Poya days, and we will listen to the Dhamma, that is okay. Yeah, let's see. We need to finish this. Perhaps no one forces you like our monks forced you, because the reason is we need to finish this. Therefore, we always try to finish this. Therefore, if you tell us, can I come for a month, then we can say, oh, okay. Can we come forever? Yes. Because we know that within a month, what can you do? But if you can come, at least come for a month, please come. Okay? We want you to finish this. Because this is a game. This is the only game you can finish. Otherwise, you have to restart. It will do. If we want to finish, we need to battle until your last breath. Let's do that. We need soldiers for your own survival. You don't have to battle for me. You don't have to battle for another person. You have to battle for yourself. You need to win yourself. You need to battle yourself, and you need to you need to achieve the victory. That's the only victory you can have. You can keep it with you. No one can take it from you. That's why the Buddha always asks us to practice and understand this and practice. That's why he created this Sambuddha Sasana, a method, a way. We all come here and practice. Think about this. Think about this. Find some time. I know you can find. If you keep listening to these sermons, you will find time. You will leave your family. Because you are not an entity. You are just a mind. When you listen, you will understand. When you understand, your craving, or the power of craving decreases gradually. Then you will be able to leave something and come. But when you come here, you will have something to crave. That's fine. At least now you don't want your dog. Otherwise, when it dies, he dies, what happened? You will cry. But when you come here, you left him and come. Not left to die, leave to die. You gave it to someone because now you don't want him, because your wanting is eradicated at that time, at least for that dog. Then you came here. Now you will only cry for your son, not for the dog. You associate with all these things because you can't leave them, ladies and gentlemen. Don't ever say that, no, I love them. That's why I don't want to hear that. Because that's the most sacred thing in the world. Love. But people use that. I had to ask, how dare you use that? Did you brush your teeth to use it? Because that's the most sacred thing. Only the Buddha can achieve that. Pacceka Buddha can achieve that. Arahant can achieve that. At least sakers who practice the path can use that. Because they can feel it. Others can't. I can't leave my dog because I love him. No. I can't leave my dog because I crave for him. I can't leave him because I need to use him. I have a wanting towards him. To fulfill my wantings, to come out of my vexation, I need to use that dog. You don't say that. It's my puppy. But actually, in your mind, if we ask your mind to ask, I had to use this dog to come out of vexation. You can't leave them because of vexation, not because of love. You can't leave your son, daughter, because of, tell the truth, love. Don't use that word. Don't ever use that. Please use it. Because when you use that word, you feel that this world is so nice and so beautiful. Love. And poets can make poems. Do you really think that they know the meaning of love? Do you really think that they have felt the love we are talking about? No. But they can talk about love. If you don't talk about love, the world will be so ugly. But now, when you talk about love, motherly love, fatherly love, and all these love, all these kind of love, because now actually you have created many kind of love. Motherly love. Can I have motherly love? No, because I am not a mother, because I am a man. Therefore, I can't have a motherly love. In order to have motherly love, you should be a woman and you should be a mother. Can you imagine that? How can you discriminate? Love. Love is love, ladies and gentlemen. There is no such thing called motherly love. 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 That's it. Love. I can't leave my family because I love them. Let's correct it. It is ugly, but let's correct it. I can't leave my family because I have to use them. Because still I have wantings and I have to use them. Because they are special. But one day when you understand the universe through the Dhamma, you will realize that nothing is special in this world. Then they are not special to you. Then you can leave and come. But when they are special, you have to live with them. That's the only thing. That's why we don't force you to leave your family and come back. Because even if you come here, by leaving your family that is so special to you, then you can't stay here. Your body will stay here, but you want to see, you want to perceive those colors, those thoughts, those sounds. Then you think that I can't stay in the Sambuddha Sasana. I feel sometimes some people say that I feel this life so terrible. Then I would ask, what? This life? But I know the reason. I know the reason because he or she lives in her family, in her mind, which means that person wants to perceive those things, but they have to live here. When you tell that, then we ask you to go. Okay, don't worry. Please go. Go and stay with your family. But understand the Dhamma. That's it. Understand the Dhamma. That's the only thing. Understand the Dhamma. At least if you can feel that your family and the other families and everyone is the same, then you don't have to perceive their things, I would say, because colors, sounds, so on. If you want to see a color, let me show. Can you stay with us? This is not enough, okay? Can you stay with us? Which color will you see when you go home? Tell me, I will show you. No? This? No? Which sound you want to see? You want to hear? Which sound? Just tell us, then we will produce that. If you can see the problem, let's sort it out. That's the only problem. If you need to stay with your family, that's the only problem. Some children, they don't want to come here because they want to watch movies. Here, when they come, they can't watch movies. They can't use phones. Therefore, they don't want to come here. They have to live with their family. Their family is not their mother and father. Their family is that movies and those movies and that phone and laptop, whatever. They have to live with that. That's the only thing. When we ask them to understand the Dhamma and practice the path, and one day, if they can leave them means, actually, if they can see that is at least that is useless. I can't achieve anything by using these things. If they can use that, now they can come. Otherwise, they won't come. They can create a million excuses. This is how it is. You are so intelligent, ladies and gentlemen. The Buddha said, it's really difficult for highly educated people to achieve their salvation. It is very, very difficult, okay? Just difficult, he said. Difficult. Why? What's the reason? Because when you are educated, you are more knowledgeable. When you are knowledgeable, you can create your excuses perfectly. We can't argue with that. That means your teacher can't argue with that, because when you create an excuse, you create it perfectly. We know that because we always listen to the Buddha. Therefore, whenever you tell your excuses, we accept that. Yes. In our mind, we said that, yes, you are well educated. You are well educated, you are so knowledgeable. Therefore, you use your knowledgeable for your own peril. Next time, please come up with new excuse. Let's see how powerful that excuse is. No one can break it. No one can break. No one can break it. Excuses. Therefore, I want you to understand this. That's it. Understand this. Then you will leave your family and come. You will leave your possessions and come. Jesus Christ once said, if you want to be complete, if you want to be perfect, sell your all possessions and give it to the poor. Then come and join me. That's how it is. Because when you acquire possessions, you try to live with them. That's the other life you used to live. But now you have to leave these possessions and come and join with the path. You need some for your requisites. That's it. That's it. I don't want a mansion, but I'm happy. I can live wherever you give. I don't want to show anything to the world. I don't want to show that I'm Guru Hamduru. I'm the chief incumbent of this monastery. I don't want to show that. I don't give my name to that. Because actually I don't want. I don't have that craving. I tell these things, I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about the path. The path that I practice, or I have been practicing. Actually, I don't want any title. I don't want any publicity. I don't want to meet celebrities. I don't want to be in the photographs. But in my lay life, I wanted to do all these things. Because of the Dhamma, this happened to me. I had cravings, but not anymore. Therefore, I can stay happily. I don't want to do anything to make myself happy. I don't want to come to you to make myself happy. I don't want to preach to you to make myself happy. If you come, I will preach. Otherwise, preaching is not my cup of tea. Living life is my cup of tea. I used to work hard to fulfill my lust and sensual desires, but not anymore. I don't want them. Again, I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about the path. Practice. Try to hurt me by saying any word. Not throwing anything at me. Okay? Tell any word. Spread any gossip. No one can hurt. Why? Because I don't want. If you want, you have an expectation. Then you have to protect. You have to achieve. Don't you feel that you are living in a hell? Even though you have a mansion to live, you are still suffering, ladies and gentlemen, because you have to maintain that. You have to maintain that, and you have to protect the quality of your house, your car, your life, because you always consider about other people's opinion about you. When they say that you are so beautiful, you are over the moon, when they say that you are so ugly these days, then you try to go to beauty parlors and try to change your face because you are not happy with what you have, because you have worn things every day. You get even more, but you try to be happy. Therefore, now it becomes a project. Now you can say that I want to be happy. One day I will be happy. I will be happy. Yes, I'm definitely sure about that. You will. One day you will be happy. You will be happy. You will eat your carrot. You are the one behind the carrot. Therefore, definitely you will eat the carrot one day. Otherwise, let's break that stick. Let's break that stick. Otherwise, you will chase behind this. And this is your happiness. You believe that there is something called happiness. Okay. If there is something called happiness, okay, then you are the person behind it. Then you will achieve your happiness one day. But happiness is within you. And right now you are happy, but you can't feel it because of your vexation. Your bucket is not empty. Your bucket is full. But you don't feel that. Therefore, you always try to fill the bucket. That's why you are so busy. That's why you can't feel your life. Your life is perfect. Your face is perfect. I'm telling you, your face is perfect. You don't have to change that. Then why do you change it? Because you don't believe that. I believe that your face is perfect. Not only yours, but also others. Your face is perfect. You don't have to change it. You don't have to change your hair. You don't have to change your eyebrows, whatever. You don't have to change anything. That is perfect. That is perfect. But you believe that it's not perfect. Therefore, you always listen to others and get their opinions. People have 1,000 opinions, ladies and gentlemen, because they don't have any work to do. They have opinions about you. Ask, they will give 1,000. But you don't believe that. Your face is perfect, therefore you always change it. Your education is perfect. Your walking style is perfect. But you don't believe that. Therefore you try to improve your walking style, your talking style. Then when you try to improve, you can't perceive it. You can't feel it. You can't live in it because you try to improve. When you refurbish your home, your house, how can you live in there? You always improve because it's not perfect. That's how you feel. But I'm telling you, it is perfect. Don't try to change it. Understand that it is perfect. Then you will feel how perfect your mind is. This is the way. This is the way. Keep listening to the Dhamma. Keep listening to them, because Dhamma, which means anicca dukkha anatta. But to understand that, we need to create the environment. Then we use more time to create that environment. Therefore, don't ever think that, okay, we know all these things, but tell us anicca dukkha anatta. Then I can tell anicca dukkha anatta. Is that okay? That's a theory. Anicca dukkha anatta is a theory. But you should know how to apply it. To apply it, you should understand what's going on with you these days. In your whole sansara, what has been happening to you? Think about these things. Let's achieve the life. Let's live in the life. Let's stop improving our life. If you have a low income and it's not enough, if it's not enough, then earn some, that's fine. But don't try to improve your lifestyle. Don't try to improve your anything because it's perfect. Understand that. Please let your children understand that. Otherwise, they will suffer to the fullest, I'm telling you. Now, you have there are many social issues, drugs, and so on. I don't have to name. You know all these things. These things happen because of vexation. Vexation happens because of ignorance. Which means, if the mind thinks that it's not perfect, now the mind has to improve it. Then you will be happy when you finish your improvements. When? When will you be beautiful, ladies and gentlemen? Let's ask. You never be beautiful. Because you can't be beautiful because you are beautiful. But you want to be beautiful in the future. That's why you say you want, I want. When I say I want, in which time period I'm talking about? The present or the future? I want future. That word is for the future, ladies and gentlemen. Therefore, when you want something, you are talking about the future. Then you forget your now. You forget your very life. This is your life. You forgot it. And you try to improve something. That's what happened to you. Therefore, let's study. Let's see the world as it is, not with your interpretations. Let's learn the Dhamma, which means the Buddha's doctrine, which is the reality of nature. That's it. The reality of nature. Let's learn about it. And let's put it into our life. Then you will realize that everything is nature. Then love will be created in your heart. Then you can say that, I don't love because I am the love. One day you will be able to tell that, I am the love. If you are the love, which kind of love? Motherly or fatherly? Love. then you will love your son and you will love a stray dog equally. Otherwise, you will love your son and you will hate the stray dog. You will love your son. In order to protect your son, you will destroy perhaps a school. In order to make a better life for your family, you will destroy 1,000,000 families. You have seen them. And you will see more. Perhaps you will do one. Because you love. That's why. When I heard that, I love her, I love my son, I'm so scared. Because I know that this is a time bomb. One day, this will explode and destroy a country, perhaps. I believe in love, but not the verb. I believe in the love, which is the noun. Therefore, don't love, be the love. In order to do so, you need to eradicate ignorance. To eradicate ignorance, you need to understand the Dhamma. You need to associate with Kalyan Mitra. Therefore, please come to the monastery. Every day, I invite you on behalf of everyone in the monastery. Come and join us. We will battle together. Then you will achieve your salvation and I will achieve mine. If you stay at home, again, you will have to battle not for your salvation, but for your vexation. Oh, that's nice. Salvation and vexation. Yeah, that is called Samma Ajiva and Miccha Ajiva. Wrong way of living. Miccha Ajiva. That's wrong. When you are vexed, if you try to do something to come out of vexation, that path is wrong. That is a wrong path. Miccha Ajiva. Because you battle for vexation. The other one is for salvation. That is Samma Ajiva. When you have vexation or when you are vexed, you understand vexation and you realize that it happens due to ignorance and you try to get rid of ignorance by achieving wisdom. That's the other path. There are two paths. You have been practicing one. Now we want to introduce you the other path. Understand and practice, then you will move on that path gradually. One day, you will be the love of the world. Then you won't have raga, dvesha, moha in your mind. Because if you don't have any special thing in this world, why do you want to associate anything? If you don't have raga, or if you don't have anything special in this world, you don't have to associate with anything. And you don't have to hate anything. Then when you have moha in your mind, you think that everything is special. This is how it is. Therefore, again, I invite you, if you can understand this, or if you understood this, come and join us. Sooner the better, but we are waiting for you. We are waiting for you. Let's practice. Otherwise, come back. But try to come in human form, please. Otherwise, we will feed you something and shoo away. Imagine that also. When you come back, and if you have the memory, and you come to me, will you face me? Just imagine that. Let's assume that. Let's assume. Let's assume. Okay? Right? Then, let's assume that you become a dog. Is that okay? Let's assume that. Okay? You become a dog. But still you can remember your past life. Normally they can't remember. We also can't remember. They can't remember as well. Then, now, I stay somewhere and you come to the monastery and you see me. At that time, you feel that, oh, Guru Hamdra will recognize me. Let me hide myself. Because you can't face, because you know that I would say, I said that. Imagine that. One day, let's not talk about that. But it might happen. Therefore, before it happens, I want you to at least achieve the first step, which is stream entry. Sotapanna phala. Try to achieve that. Let's use your life for that. We will help you. You are not alone now. But when you come with 4 legs, then you will be alone, because we can't waste our life to feed you. Whenever we have a chance, we will feed you. But we can't let you understand the reality. Then your life will be a waste. Then you can become a pet of someone. But the problem is, right now, who are you? If someone uses you, right now also you are a pet. I'll see you next week. I didn't mean to hurt you. You know, I speak to you out of compassion. May the blessings of the Noble Triple Gem be with you all. Thank you.